World Network. Dr. Ruth Anderson here for a meditation a day. Today, I'm so pleased to bring you Dr. Jane Mountrose. She is an author, she's a speaker, she's a teacher, she's a soul sister. She's an amazing, amazing resource to me. So please welcome her. And I see the Wi-Fi is a little frozen here.
Yeah.
But her meditation today is in the flow of the divine. So we're going to go with the divine flow of the Wi-Fi here, Jane, and make sure that it takes us to the end.
One of those things that is going to follow its course wherever it's going to go.
Exactly.
I want to mention also, we were talking before about the Lionsgate portal, which comes every year in August. And it's really, you could say it's like a gateway to a more expansive perspective on everything, a portal. And with August and 888, today's 88, it's about infinity. It's about opening to the infinite flow of the divine, which is why this is very meaningful for us all today to be in a position where we can just receive whatever it is in that flow that is coming to us today. And we'll see what that is. I'm not always sure because things just kind of appear, which is, I think, as it should be. It's we're receiving from the divine. So, and this is Buddy. He's here too. Okay. Oh, the other thing is, it also is a full moon, which is another another time when there's a lot of energy. So there's a whole lot of energy, and if you're feeling at all unbalanced by that, I think it's also a good time just to be in this place. We're going to also focus on being in our bodies in the moment, together with all of this. So here we go. And we always start, if you're in a place and feel guided to close your eyes, this would be a wonderful time for that. And imagining now, as you breathe in, that you're breathing in the most amazing light from the universe. And as you exhale, you can just start releasing. We're going to open, and we're also going to let go. So as we inhale, we open to the divine. And then exhaling, we can release any energy that's dense or incoherent, that doesn't feel stable, doesn't feel like you. Just let it go. You can also intentionally ask for any energy that's in your field that is not your own, to send it back where it came from, because we're always picking up energy from the world around us and from the mass consciousness thought forms, and it's not ours. So if we send all of that back, we can be more ourselves in our bodies. So just with love, sending it all back. And similarly, we leave bits of ourselves with other people, other times, other places. So you can just ask any energy of your own that's ready to come back to you in this moment. Just bring it back. You might feel it. I always feel it. And then just be aware of yourself in your body in the moment. It's kind of like moving into out of time and into the eternal now. Just where there's no future, there's no past. We're just here. And together we become stronger in our connection in the moment. I believe it's true, even if we're not all together, obviously in the same place, or even at the same time, but we are in this space. And we can feel that presence that's providing also strength for us. And then I'd also like to invite to join us Archangel Metatron, to join us on this journey. He's a beautiful being of divine light, considered to be one of the angels who is closest to God, to our Creator. And he's here to support us in our spiritual growth, in ascension, building our light bodies, finding out more who we really are. So I'm very pleased that he is here with us in this moment. And you can just ask him to support you with some light so you can feel his energy. And often it's experienced as a kind of a golden white, um, radiant light. So it's very much like source energy, very close to source energy. And as you receive it, you can feel that all around you, all through your energy field and in your body, into all of the cells of your body, all of the atoms and all of the cells. And now we can ask him to join us as we begin to rise. We're going to rise up to a beautiful mystical mountaintop that's way above all of these things that are holding so many people down. And Archangel Metatron is going to support us. You might feel yourself going through a sparkling mist of divine light as you rise up, all safely and gently. We can also ask for Archangel Michael to join us to provide safety and strength for us as we travel. Rising up to this mystical mountaintop. It's so high up. It's above all of the mass consciousness thought forms that are influencing people just by being on the planet. So we can rise up in that space and feel free, feel more free to be you in this place. It's glorious. However you perceive that mountaintop itself, you have an expansive 360-degree view of the world around you. And at this height, you can get a good sense of its glory, of the beauty of the world. And of course, just looking out over that expansive view, it offers an opportunity to expand your own perspective on who you are. Because we see ourselves, and you can maybe even just imagine how you go through sometimes your daily life, not fully aware of how divine you are. And here you can get a more expansive view, because we all are divine. We all are magnificent, glorious spiritual beings who are coming into a realization of this, that we're not those limited people on the planet who consider themselves to be separate and alone. We're all connected. We're all one. You may get a sense of that here. Also opening your heart center, opening to receiving love from the divine. And you might notice as you open to receiving love, breathing in that love into your heart, that there's an expansion there, an expansion of divine love, divine loving energy. If you're visual, it might look like a light that's becoming brighter right there in the center of your chest. Or if you're feeling, or both, you might feel it. Just feel it as an energy that becomes more intense with love, and allow that to radiate out, filling all of the cells of your body. And then radiating out, filling your field of light around you. And intentionally allowing that to expand out. We hold ourselves in, we contract ourselves because we feel like we have to fit into some space. Here, there's no limit. You are one, actually, with everything. You might sense that, or at least sense that you can expand and just feel the freedom of that, of just being able to be you without any limitations, without any perceived expectations from anyone else. Just honoring who you really are. And then opening more to light from the divine. I think when we're on a mystical mountaintop like this, we can get a sense now looking up at the heavens. You might be able to see both the light of the sun and the light of the stars. Just the limitless space around you. So expansive beyond anything we could probably fathom. You could say it's like an infinite field of potential that is out there, that is available to all of us. And of course, we are here to receive light from the divine in whatever way is appropriate for us today. And what I see is that the light is coming to us today directly from Source. I think with the Lionsgate portal open, what it feels like is that we don't need an intermediary. We can connect with Source, with God, with the infinite, with the oneness, however you want to describe it. And just feel blessed by a cascade of loving light from above, inviting it to illuminate all of the goodness that you are, all of the wonder of who you are. This portal is open now for us to receive more, a larger, a grander sense of ourselves, and to bless every part of ourselves with light. So again, feeling it in your field, all of the levels of your energy field around you, and into your body, inviting it into every part. Maybe there are some parts you don't love as much. You can send that light in there, especially those parts that need love, that need light, that need blessings from the divine. And I sense that God is telling us that we are all one. And just to feel how calming that is. Just to let go of any illusions of separation, of having to please one part or another. We're all one. We're all one with the infinite, and we're all one with every part of the infinite, all the way down into the cells and the atoms in the cells. And from there, allowing light to flow through the atoms. It's like ultimately our capacity to hold light depends on clearing out all the sludge that is sitting there, slowing down the flow of light through the system, through all of the atoms. And when we do that, within the atoms, there are electrons and they spin. They're alive and they spin faster when we can bring more light in. So we're feeding them love. So every little bit, every teeny weeny bit of us can receive that light and love. And again, allowing anything that feels congested, anything that can become brighter, just open to that. When we're in a field of infinite possibilities, miracles can happen. Something that's one thing in 1 minute can be another thing in another minute. And thinking of that obviously in a from the energy of growth. In other words, that one thing that's denser can become lighter. Something that seems like a limitation can become an opportunity, or something that seems to be holding us back can just dissolve. So we can allow that. And looking again at yourself, just perceiving your perception of yourself. Notice if there are any parts of yourself that you criticize. It could be physically, emotionally, mentally, I'm not smart enough or whatever it is, or spiritually, I'm not good enough. And realize that you are magnificent. It's just a process of opening and realizing it, allowing that. I also feel like the cherubs are here. They're beautiful. They're magnificent tiny angels. The cherubs themselves actually are magnificent large angels, but they send these little cherubs. You might remember them from Renaissance paintings. Beautiful little baby angels that are here to delight us and also to bless us with more light. It's an interesting word, delight. Delight us. They just seem to be singing a beautiful song to us. There's that idea of the music of the spheres. And just opening again fully to the divine in this eternal moment that we're in together. Just receiving that light. Maybe in a way you haven't ever before. And with that, also just thinking of coming back, which we will be doing obviously in a moment. What you can bring back, how you can know that you're bringing back more light. Maybe there's a gift for you. I feel like I just was handed starlight, a handful of starlight. How do you hold on to that? And Archangel Metatron, of course, is here. And all of us have angels and masters and divine guides and beings of light around us always. And they want to be part of our daily lives. I think that's another really important thing to recognize, that they're here to be with us in the morning when we get up and throughout the day when we want blessings of light, anytime. We can just ask for being blessed with divine light and breathe. Just breathe and relax into it. And with that, knowing also you can spend as much time in this place as you want, and knowing that just by recalling what you feel now, you can come back here, coming back to that mystical mountaintop and opening to the light of the divine, opening to source, opening to God, the blessings from God. He too is here for us always. He, she, Mother, Father, God. So with that, we can thank all of these beings who are supporting us today and begin to travel back where we started, just very gently drifting down through that sparkling mist of light back to where you started, with your feet firmly on the floor or ground, or imagining that, making that connection with the earth to ground yourself. We need to be sure to ground ourselves when we come back. Thanking Mother Earth for supporting us. And then breathing in more active energy, going back into our normal waking states. And you can stretch or whatever you feel like, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Buddy stayed the whole time. He liked it.
I love Buddy. Of course he stayed. You know, Jane, two thoughts. Number one, when you said Archangel Metatron had a gift for us, and I saw a little box in my hand right before you said starlight. I saw starlight right before you said it, and it was like, oh wow, Jane got the same thing I got.
But you just have to figure out how you keep a box full of starlight.
Yeah, because it literally went. The other thing that I wanted to mention was you took us to this beautiful place, this transformative place and space. And then we come back into our bodies, and it's up to us to allow ourselves to remain changed as
right
in meditation. Because as we come back into our bodies, it would be very easy to go, oh yeah, before the meditation, I was concerned about blah, 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 and step right back into that.
Right.
So it really is on us.
Oh yeah.
Remain changed.
Yeah, it's what we want to cultivate. I was actually looking at something just before we started, that idea of the mind as a garden that we can cultivate. So it's interesting, having been doing healing and coaching and working with people for decades now. I'm amazed sometimes that people actually seem to think that if their mind has a thought, that they have to cultivate it. Right. like things are terrible. Well, that's true. And you start looking for all the terrible things. Or, what else could you cultivate? Could you cultivate that understanding that you are surrounded by angels always? That there are angels here for you. And I think one of the most amazing things about all of that to me is, if you invite one of them from a pure place in your heart to be with you, like Metatron or Raphael or any of them, or Amaryssis is an ascended master, a master, she's called the Goddess of Light. I invite her, I just ask her to bless me with light. And I think the thing that amazes me is it's instantaneous. It's not like, well, are they here yet? It's like, at the speed of a thought, they're with us. Fully present to us, because we have asked them to join us. And that's another thing, just I always want to remember to offer my great gratitude to them for being with us, for offering us the blessings of their presence. And I also, another thing is, when I first started connecting with them, I thought, well, gee, I just love them so much, but I was afraid to tell them, because I thought, well, who am I? What do they care if I love them or not? And that's a perception of myself, obviously. They do care. They want to know. Well, they want to know that they're being heard, and that they want to know that they're appreciated, because they're going to offer us more blessings the more they are blessed with our appreciation and our follow through with what they offer us.
Right.
But our reality can expand. I mean, that's what this whole Lionsgate thing is about. How can we perceive what's happening right here now differently? Well, there's so much more happening than we acknowledge. We think, well, gee, I need to check my email or whatever.
Right. Right. Jane, one thought, and I've heard so many times that the angels delight in our presence. They delight in us. I mean, there's no part about you not being good enough.
No, right.
They delight in us. And when we delight in them, your whole world can change.
Yeah. Did you notice? I don't know if you noticed. I said delight, and I've never thought of delight before as light, with connection.
Yes. I wrote that down.
I thought that was
right.
It is really nice that's a great word, to delight in them and know that they delight in us, because that is what it is. There's an infusion of light in all of it, light and love and joy.
Yeah. And a reminder that really there is no separation.
Right.
If you're feeling separate from the creator, that's an illusion. And you can simply go into meditation or prayerful meditation and remove that illusion from your thinking. And sometimes you have to do that a lot, right?
Well, I think there's something behind it too, a lot of times, like feeling, I think I kind of referred to it a little bit, feeling undeserving, or years ago, I felt like I was so flawed, I was embarrassed. Like anyone who would know anything about anything would know that I'm deeply flawed, and certainly God would know. And then God came to me personally, and that took me months, really, actually, to be able to, I guess, accept it as a reality. But it's true. What you're saying is true. There is no division between us and God. And one of my favorite things when I do healing with people, I guess we all have our own ways of perceiving things, but as people heal, it is about healing aspects of separation. I see them in the arms of God. And I know that then they're well again. That separation between them and God has lifted. And that comes from us because we created it.
Yeah.
I think that whole thing is funny to me too. I mean, just the idea. I think I probably was doing healing work for more than 10 years before I realized that separation is just an illusion. I mean, there is no way that you can be separated from God or from, and if God isn't a word that works for you, I suppose that's fine. When God came to me, he told me I had to accept him as God. And I think it was because of the fact that we tend to feel ourselves separate from that word, that way of looking at him or her, him, her, them. And it's unnecessary. And when you realize it's just you, it's all in your head. Again, that mind, the garden, how you want to cultivate that garden.
Well, and one of my favorite sayings is, you don't have to believe what you think.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's that some people don't know either. They think, just because some thought inside their head says something is such and such, that they have to go with it. But it's not necessarily true. There is another, I think, if you might see it as the soul, there is that other part of the self that is actually watching, because we do have an observer, right? Who, however you look at that, what is it that's observing that thought? It's not that thought. Who's in control? Is it whatever seems to come out of the head, or is it the soul that's controlling that part, that observer who's noticing, well, gee, you wake up and you start out the day thinking, well, gosh, another one of those awful days is here.
Mhm.
Just
Right.
because you think it, do you have to cultivate it? Or could you start? And this is something actually I've been doing recently. Um, before you get out of bed, even when you wake up, just starting by saying, I am one with God, and just being in that place, because that's probably the most programmable time of day that you have
Yep. Absolutely.
before all the chatter comes in. So you set the pace. So if you start out by, oh, another day, you're setting the pace. And you have a choice.
Yeah. Beautiful words of wisdom there, Jane.
Well, it's to me, it's so exciting too, because wherever we are, there's more. We're here because we have more expansion and growth to experience. If we didn't, there would be no reason for us to be here.
Right. Or we'd be gone.
Although we're contributing, we also are contributing, but I don't know of anybody who would say, well, I'm done.
Right.
How about you, Bud? Even these guys, people look at animals in different ways. I think that they're here supporting us and we're here supporting them spiritually.
Exactly. Yep. Oh, I love Buddy so much.
Yeah, he's a dear. And he's really enjoying this today. Aren't you, sweetie?
Oh, well, Jane, thank you so much for
Oh, thank you, Ruth.
I so appreciate you and the wisdom that you bring whenever we're together. So thank you. And friends here at Enlightened
Oh,
World,
can I just
yeah,
tell
please.
people where they could go to? I
Yes,
have a link here somewhere.
yes. And you also have a new book.
Oh, yes, we do. And we just actually did a nice talk with Ruth about it the other day.
I'm going to show it while you tell people how to find you.
Awakening to Your Magnificence. That's the new book. Your journey into the next new frontier for humanity. And that's what I was talking about. The next new frontier is that expanded sense of who we are and what's happening in our lives, that what we can have as part of our daily lives. Angels and beings of light, Amaryssus, the goddess of light, can be with you to bless you. All of those things. Anyhow, I wanted to offer, for anyone who wants to know more about what we do offer, we have programs, spiritual coaching and healing. We have another one, the spiritual guide, their certification courses, and other things. And our website is gettingthrough.org. It's gettingthru.org. And you go to gettingthrough.org/spiritual. And there's a free resource kit for people who want to know more about what's possible. And we have a very large website. We started in the 90s, so it's pretty big. And you can just look all around and see what's there. We love to connect with people who just want to know what might be possible.
Yeah, thank you. Jane, you have such a beautiful heart and a beautiful spirit, and I love that you share it with me. So thank you.
I feel the same about you.
Yeah, thank you. Friends, thank you for being here at Enlightened World Network. Please check out Jane and Phillip Mountrose. They're teaching beautiful things, and you can be part of that too. So take good care.